Hey guys, and welcome back to the Top 10 Strongest No Legendary series. It's time for another fun list, and we're following up the electric type list with one for the fighting type. It's gonna be a pretty fun list today, as the fighting typing has plenty of great representation, with a ton of it coming mostly from dual types. While there may not be a lot of pure fighting types on this list, if nothing else, it proves just how great it works as a complementary typing. So, we're gonna open up our list today with the original king of the fighting types. That's right, Machamp just made the cut to join our list in the pantheon of non-legendaries in its typing. What it does is incredibly basic, but super effective, using a Facade Guts combo along with close combat to do some nasty damage in the lower tiers of battle. It's really not hard to just slap a Flame Orb on this thing and just make some noise on the battlefield. I mean, remember, Machamp's base attack is 130, so when you're boosting it further with Guts, then you're just creating an overpowered beast. The only big issue that left Machamp all the way down here opening the list, despite the positives, is its awful speed and its sort of meh defense. It's nothing special in that regard, but as an attacker, you just love to see this kind of power. The next Pokemon on the list is Miencho, which I didn't entirely expect to have on this list today when I did my research. It's a bit better than Machamp, but not by much. It's really helped by having Regenerator for an ability, which is always a big one to have in competitive. If you were to throw a Choice Scarf on Miencho to guarantee it outspeeds everything, then its base 125 attack will cause the punishment you're looking for in battle. It uses moves like Close Combat and Stone Edge to the majority of its damage, which is pretty fine, and can even set up with Swords Dance if for some reason you're not running the Choice Scarf. Though I definitely recommend just keeping its speed up with that item and constantly switching to heal. That's what Miencho is on a basic level, a speedy regenerative option with a few strong attacks. It and Machamp do not blow the field away, but they create a nice foundation for the rest of the list. So next up, we've got a top 5 dragon type taking only the 8th spot on the list, Komodo. Considering it's only coming in at number 8 today, I suppose that proves there is a massive jump in quality from here on out. So Komodo is in fact a jack of all trades, but really a master of no one thing. It's able to set up through multiple different ways, whether that be with Dragon Dance and Automize or otherwise. Its best move is probably clanging Scales to pair with the setup. And on top of that, using Throat Spray on this thing can give you a very threatening dragon out in battle. Though, if you want, make this thing a defensive mon and you're still set. If you just run Iron Defense and then pull out Body Press, it very well could be a wrap. I'll throw the stats up on screen, but after I pointed out everything well this thing can do, I guess it sells that idea even more now that you know exactly its allocations. It's a great Pokemon that really inspires confidence in the rest of the list, no doubt about it. We move on now to Uneva's Great Konkelda, once again being a top tier Guts option. It's stronger and a bit bulkier than Machamp, which is what helped move it up the list a bit more. But for the most part, it's best we keep this one short, because we may as well just keep repeating what we said for Machamp. Konkelda rocks out with 140 base attack, and has moves from Close Combat and Drain Punch to Facade and Knockoff. It's going to cause such massive damage to opposing Pokemon when burned, and that's really all you gotta know about it. It's further proof that a strong stat and the Guts ability coming together is easily one of the best duos in competitive Pokemon. It's time to close out the first half of the list with one of my favorite Johto boyos, the fighting bug, Heracross. Guess what? It runs Guts. It's all about guts with these Pokemon, and in the case of Heracross, it holds on to a Choice Scarf, boosting its speed to where it needs to be, and then employs its great 125 attack. It's like a combo of all the Pokemon we talked about already, with the exception of Komodo. It takes the attack of Miencho and its reliance on the Choice Scarf, while mixing in Machamp and Konkelda's guts. The big thing for Heracross though, while being more of the same, is that it can handle Psychic types thanks to that bug typing. A well-placed Mega Horn will down mostly any Psychic type, and when you throw that on a set with Close Combat and Facade, you've got yet another dominant fighting option doing everything you expect. I will say though, the first half of this list has been a lot of me repeating myself, so I'm hoping for a little bit more variety in the top 5. So this is a pretty funny one. Lucario opens the top 5 after it opened the top 10 of the Steel type list. Lucario, in BDSP especially, is a force to be reckoned with. It's got a nice Steel fighting typing, as we all know about. And as a mixed attacker, there are few Pokemon in BDSP that want to risk switching in on a Lucario using Swords Dance, as there just weren't too many options in the first 493 that could deal with it. Its move pool does have great moves in it, like Close Combat and Flash Cannon, with plenty of coverage options as well. Its big thing helping propel it on this particular list is how it's able to handle fairy Pokemon. That's huge in this instance, because while the last few Pokemon on the list had their own ability to handle themselves, Lucario in particular getting such nice stab moves for them is big. It's a pretty nice start to the top 5, really. We find ourselves just outside of the top 3 here with Halucha, a terrific fighting type that for sure will make an appearance on our flying type list as well. Halucha works great when terrains are set up, being able to run unburdened with some seeds. For instance, if you run Halucha out in a grassy terrain while holding the grass seed, you're going to gain a big boost in speed and a little boost in defense as well. It's not something you should ignore, as setting up with that and then also running Swords Dance will result in having an extremely scary Pokemon on your end. You'll be able to use acrobatics for massive damage, and of course Close Combat. And at that point, if you send out Halucha towards the end of the matchup, then you're almost guaranteed a victory. It barely missed out on being top 3. But if you want to argue it after seeing the next Pokemon, I could kind of understand. Up next, we have the Spore using Breloom making another appearance. It's third this time, and that's pretty cool. Thanks to having Spore, it can put other Pokemon to sleep easily, which means it's free to do its job. You can either lean into a Toxic Orb / Poison Heal combo with it to sort of build into it being nice defensively. It can hide behind a substitute and then rely on Focus Punch and Seed Bomb to do massive amounts of damage. However, if you want to just go the Technician route, you can set up Swords Dance and rock out with Mach Punch and Bullet Seed. You'll just need to make sure you're always running Spore, and the door is unlocked for Breloom to use its 130 base attack to crush many opponents, especially dangerous water and ground types. I think its inability to handle faster Pokemon super well, especially if they resist fighting, is why it had to be left here in the 3rd spot. That being said though, Breloom is definitely awesome and worth a look on any BDSP team. Now we come to the penultimate spot of the day, Sinnoh's flame Pokemon, Infernape. It's one of my personal favorites in the Sinnoh region, and is right around the top of the fighting types in the same way it was with the fire types. My boy here is a jack of all trades, serving as a speedy attacker on either side of the coin, and it's even capable of playing into its 74 base defenses sometimes. When you play competitively in BDSP, you can turn to Infernape as a great lead, setting up Stealth Rocks or Nasty Plot to drive its special attack up even higher. It has priority in Mach Punch, which of course plays nicely with Iron Fist, and it can get in and out of battle with ease using U-Turn. For stab, you can run Flamethrower or Overheat depending on what you're going for, and then throw in Close Combat for good measure on a mixed set. Infernape is just so flexible in how you wish to use it, and easily could have been the best fighting Pokemon if not for the other starter it's behind today. It's hard for mostly any Pokemon to beat out this next one though. Blaziken is going to be taking this number 1 spot in the video, and probably to the surprise of no one. It was previously the greatest fire-type Pokemon we'd ever seen, but is still the best fighting type bar none. Now that it's without its Mega, and the meta has changed a bit, it did lose a bit of its bite, but not enough to remove it from the conversation of being one of the best Pokemon in the franchise. It's got speed boost for an ability. Need I go on? It'll basically never be outsped in battle, which means it can set up a Swords Dance once and then just sweep. That's really it. You pull out Close Combat in Flare Blitz and just totally run the battle on autopilot. There is honestly nothing much left that needs to be said. You probably clicked this video already knowing what the number 1 spot would be, so there's really no reason for me to drag it out. I've repeated myself enough in this video anyway. So that's it, the top 10 strongest fighting types out of the way. And now I look forward to the next list. What typing do you guys want to see me cover next? As usual, I'll leave it up to you, and I look forward to seeing it. With that said, I'll see you folks then. Welcome back to the outro, folks, your favorite part of the video. Thank you for enjoying another Mystic Umbreon video. We made it through the end of the 8th generation, and now we begin the long trek into late 2022 where Pokemon Scarlet and Violet await us. It's a whole new world we'll live in, but we still gotta catch them all. However, there's still a ton of videos to do and experiences to have until then. If you're interested in more Mystic content, check out my TikTok and the Mystic Umbreon Shorts YouTube channel. If we get the 10k followers on TikTok, I'll be doing a viewer's choice video. If you like Genshin Impact, check out my Genshin channel Teibachinary. So if you all enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. See you next time.